Hello everyone, just wanted to make this video. This has been a very long process in the making, actually, like a few months. This isn't my first time trying out a YouTube channel, but this is like my first time actually having like proper equipment or actually having the was basically like not overthinking everything and not, just having the courage to just record something and post it. I wanted to make this video as a way to say like that this is your sign, that if you've been overthinking about something, which I don't know who this video could be going out to. I don't know anything about who any of you are, if you're believers or not, but I know that I am, and that this channel was definitely going to have that as one of its core values. So I wanted to make this as a way to say that whatever Yahuwah, which is who most Christians would call Jesus, but that will be another video basically explaining why that's wrong. So basically, that whatever Yahuwah has put into your heart, or through your dreams, or just as a thought that keeps recurring in your mind, that you should do it. And you should stop overthinking, especially if you've already prayed over it and it keeps coming back to you. And I know from experience that especially doing YouTube isn't an easy thing, and it takes a lot out of you mentally and physically. I know a lot of people, make content like vlogs and things of that nature, but and I want to do that too in the future. I do have a camera. I have had a camera for a few years now. I've also had this microphone that I'm using now for a few years now. But I'm just now doing this, and sorry. So basically, this isn't my first time, like I said, trying out to make a YouTube channel. I've actually done like 3 or 4 channels in the past. There are 2 that are still up that I am still focusing on. One in particular, which I'll bring up shortly. And by the way, if I sound a bit like nasally or stuff, it's because I'm recovering from like a head cold and for a few days, which also prolonged this process, and which I think is a blatant attack by the enemy. But that's besides the point. I'm still able to make the video, so I'm so grateful for that. So, anyways, when I first had an idea to make a YouTube channel, it was like 2016, 2017. And actually, the first YouTube channel I ever made was for music. Because I wanted to do music. I've always been interested in singing and writing music and producing and producing music was what I was majoring my channel in, which I still have that channel to this day, actually. It has went through a few changes, which I am, and I'm proud of myself that I was attending to it, because I did leave it for a few years, like 2 years maybe, before I started posting it on it again, because I was going through a lot during that time. I do have like a pretty huge testimony to like share, but I'm still waiting on the right time to do that. I'm not sure which video will come out first. As far as like the knowledge that I've gained over this past year, with my relationship with Yahuwah, or about my testimony. But we'll just have to see, because I genuinely wouldn't be, like, I wouldn't have an issue with sharing it now, because I've grown a lot since all these things, and some of this stuff, I've been going through years of, and we're still kind of recovering from those things, but, we made a lot of progress. So it would be pretty cool, kind of, to like share my story, because I wanted to have this channel be like a safe place, and a big learning experience, and also like a community to like just share information, and to make everyone feel welcome, and to just spread light, of course, and spread the word, spread the good news. And I finally have a lot of courage and just ability to do that. So I'm very grateful that I'll be able to do that with the channel. But anyways, back to my story. After that tangent, I started that YouTube channel where I was producing beats on, I believe it was like a drum master type thing. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I'll probably put in like a picture or something. But it's a free application that I got on my phone at the time, and I would just use it to make beats, and I wouldn't really try that hard, but it would always like end up coming out, like kind of the way that I wanted, and I kind of just found myself like messing around with it more and more often. And I remember like making a lot of songs in the first like 2 days that I used it. So I ultimately, like, after sharing it like with my sister and my mom, and my other family that I was living with at the time, I decided to make a YouTube channel and start posting them. And which I had to still figure that out, because I'm like with editing and everything and trying to transfer over the files, and I had trouble with that at first, but I found it pretty easy otherwise, and I just began posting, and to be honest, it wasn't really like racking up so many views. I mean, I didn't expect it to, but I'd gotten like maybe 3 or like 5 views on maybe a few videos, and then like 1 view, 2 views on others. But I mean, I was just happy to like share something that I did, and I knew that I wanted to have a YouTube channel at that point, and so I just had the courage, and I just put something out there, and this happened to be my music. And But within that time, I was also thinking about trying to put like my song that I'd written, or singing like on online. But I didn't end up doing that at any point for that channel, and not yet, anyways. Which has also been in my mind recently as well. So I'll definitely have to work on that. Um, but anyways, I had ended up posting on that channel for maybe a year or 2 years. I know that when I started like actually posting on it, it was near Christmas time, and I specifically remember like sitting on the bed with my sister and making beats and posting them. I'm like trying to find different applications to make beats on my laptop I had at the time. So that was pretty fun for me. It's also an outlet, which I have to explain as to why that is in my testimony video. But it was an outlet for me, and well, a lot of terrible things are going on in our daily lives. Um, so time skip to maybe 2 years later, where I after a lot of things have happened, we moved to a different place. We moved to PA, and and I had gotten the urge to start YouTube again. Oh wait, I'm just completely missing a part. So yeah, I have to write all this stuff down, and it's a lot. It's a big timeline of what happened in my life. But before I moved to PA, um, when my mom had gotten her apartment in 2020, well, before 2020, but basically around that time, um, I had gotten, like still going to school, but then maybe like I left school permanently. In the middle of 8th grade, or no, in the middle of 7th grade, because of a bullying situation, which it wasn't. I wouldn't even say it was bullying. It was just nagging. It was very stupid. But I just ended up crying in front of this miserable teacher, which I would have to, I guess, put a story time of that, which wouldn't be very long. And it's not horrible to me. I don't really put any value on what they did, because personally, it's just not that, like, it really wasn't all that what they thought they did. We're doing. But I ended up getting taken out of school midway through the year because of it, and um, so then I started going online. But then that was the only choice I had, and because of the situation we were in, so started going online. I was still going to my main like district school, but I was going online, which I was like, I mean, like middle school was just a time of its own, and they were just very terrible. Like man, just I honestly think like high school um is, despite all this like terrible things I went through last year with my school, which I also have to explain. Well, I mean, I don't have to, but I want to put up. Okay, does the airplane have to fly right now? They've been just flying all through the night and all through today, and it's midday, and they're just still flying. Anyway, um, despite everything that was going on with that school, I still believe that high school was better than middle school. Um, just socially, as far as like health wise, which um, I'm probably thinking like, why would I be saying that? But I do have a reason, which I'll share in a different video, probably just not now. It's quite personal, but just despite all that, like, which I wasn't going through much of it at the time as I have been throughout this high school. Um, but other than that, high school was a lot better than middle school. But anyways, I went on another tangent. Okay. I was going online, and then in 8th grade, I'm pretty sure it was completely online, or ended up going back to school. I can't completely remember, but I wanted to make. Oh no, I do remember. Now I remember. Because I wanted to make a YouTube channel. I was at the time like obsessed with anime and like not Pokemon specifically, even though I did play the games on 2DS, um, which I still love, by the way. But um, I was like obsessed with like Pikachu, so I named my channel Pikachu Peach Z in like all caps, and I remember it specifically. And I think I wanted it to be like a Minecraft channel or something because I was also really obsessed with Minecraft. Because it was a big part of my childhood. Because I remember especially playing like knockoff versions on my Kindle iPad, which I loved. That thing, it was pink, and I was obsessed with pink when I was little. And I had that thing for like a few years, and I just played Minecraft knockoffs on it, which they had the best ones when I was growing up. Now I like they all suck. They just suck. They do. Like they don't have like the controls are just so terrible. You can barely do anything. The graphics are horrible. So I gave up trying to find any like knockoffs now. I'll just play the actual game. Um, but when I was growing up, that's what I did. Like pretty much all that I did. I had animals. I had like this best cow friend named Cowie, aptly named. I loved Cowie, and a chicken, and I loved them. It wasn't until, of course, when I was playing that game one day, and it was one random day, and I ran into my sister in the hallway, and then I dropped my iPad, and it fell straight on the screen, and it broke beyond repair in that single moment. And I was so sad because, like, just, just this random moment. And I was so happy with that thing, and I was already going through a lot, like being in that house with just with like the family that we were living with at the time. and it's just like that was my only thing, and it was just gone. So you can only imagine that, like, seriously. But anyways, I had named it Pikachu Peach Z in all caps, and I remembered this, because there was one time we were playing, I think Kahoot in our class, and that's what I put as my name because we had a sub, I think, and we could choose whatever our names could be, but they just had to be school appropriate. So I put that as my name, and then, like, this lady, it was like this older white woman, and she would, like, looked at my name and was like, "What is this? Like, is this school appropriate?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I'm pretty sure other kids, like one or two people, was like, "Yeah, it is," but she still took it off, so I had to use a different name. I'm pretty sure. So it was like, just that's why I remember that. But that's I know that's like stupid to be mad about, which I'm not really mad about it, but I'm just like I said it was. But she was like, meh. But I was only looking at her a certain way because I was kind of shy. Like, I was always like, I was really reserved in school, and I still am. And I just didn't really expect her to, like, ask me about it. I was just like really happy, and then happy to put that as my name because I was really proud of that YouTube channel. And then she just asked me out of the blue, and I just felt like everybody was staring at me, and I felt like this imposter syndrome and intense anxiety in that moment. But I just, yeah, that's why I remember that lovely moment in school, which I love so much. Anyway, um, I had that channel, and I think that was pretty short lived, actually. Um, I just 2020 was really hard for everyone. I mean, like, I don't have to say that. Really, I think everyone could think about 2020 and go, "Oh yeah, well, we all know how that was." So, I was it's kind of up and down because, I mean, I would have to explain more in my testimony video, but it was a lot going on. The family we were living with before was not the best, like, whatsoever. So when my mom finally got her own place after a while, because we had been up and down as far as finances, it was like it had been a really long time since she had her own place that I could remember, and we were finally like, yes, like, we can get away from this, and we can finally, feel better, and grow and things of that nature. But um, it quickly took a turn because 2020 hit hard, and then everyone was like scared, and everyone, just everyone had to be forced inside. Um, And it especially sucks now because of everything that we know, and um, basically how much we know about this whole entire situation that was fabricated, um, to say lightly. And I know you have to be so careful about what you say about certain things on everywhere, so just certain things were fabricated, and some things were unnecessary, and some things were all just to keep control over certain people, um, just causing off issues for American citizens, and for the world, really, of who was like really heavily affected, or even mildly affected. So I went into a really deep depression, which wasn't the first time for me, unfortunately. And I believe I was in 8th grade, so I was probably like maybe 12 or 13, maybe. I'm not sure, but somewhere around there. And because my birthday is right before the cutoff. Um, so I was always kind of the youngest in my class, so I was probably the younger end of whatever age is 8th grade in America. Um, so just depression had been in my, like, a routine of mine, um, like a cycle, I guess I could say. Not really a routine, but it's like a cycle I've been going through a lot in my life. And this was one of the times where it was really heavy, and I got into, those thoughts of, like, not wanting to be here anymore as well. And I went through that, like, all year, and it was really hard to even get out of bed. Um, Nourishment and all those things. Just it was just really hard, and just really difficult for all of us. And it was also really difficult because my mom had gotten into an accident at work, and so we had to take care of her. Me and my older sister. Um, so we had to do that all year, and, like, she literally couldn't get up to even, like, do what she wanted to do, like, to be a mom. Because, like, if you are to meet her, it's like that's, like, mainly what she's about, like, taking care of people. And she's been like that her entire life, and she didn't have the, like, literal capacity to even do that, like, herself, to even get up, um, or, like, to even stand a lot of times, to, like, cook dinner or clean around the house, or to check in on us sometimes. So it was really hard. And YouTube definitely took a back burner. Anime did not, but YouTube and just, like, my mental health is definitely not what I was thinking about, and my attention was basically, like, on entertainment, when I thought would, make me happy, but it's only temporary. I mean, like, there's only so many YouTube videos or anime you can watch, or, like, stories you can read that will, you know, fill the void. And we were going to church online still at this time. Um, but now I have to explain this in my testimony video as well. I know I'm like placing a lot of stuff and saying, like, oh, it's gonna be in this video, but I promise I'm not saying that to, like, promote, like, you have to stay and, wait for part 2 kind of thing. It's like I'm literally, like, building this from the ground up, and like, this is, like, literally the first time that I have a mic, and, like, I'm like actually speaking, and so it's, like, a lot of stuff I have to get used to, and there's a lot that I have to say, of course, and there's a lot of videos I am ready to, like, post, but I'm not ready to make, or, like, I'm not, or